It's time for Two Guys and a Goalie with Dustin Nielsen, Matt Kassian, and the goalie, Joaquin Gage.
Episode 30 of Two Guys and a Goalie, still presented to you by Oddshark. You can visit them at oddshark.com. Also Popeyes, Louisiana Chicken, and Sport Clip Haircuts, where it's good to be a guy. We'll play Keep It or Clip It a little bit later on. It's Appreciation Week, I believe, at Sport Clips. We'll give you some details on that a little bit later on as well. It's Dustin Nielsen. It is Joaquin Gage. It is Big Dick Gazzola. He's with us here on the podcast today. Huge wiener there.
Huge wiener.
Yeah,
wow.
Same thing.
Have you noticed since you've been back, have you noticed people texting into the
H-Dub?
Yeah. Yeah. For a little while, I'm like, who are they talking about?
Yeah.
It's me. Thanks
You're
a lot.
filling in for me. You're filling in for on Monday.
Yeah.
Somebody texted in this morning because it's Monday and was like, I was expecting huge wiener this morning. What's going on? I was just like, well,
back
sorry.
on Monday.
Average size penis is here.
Guys,
On the other show, they say it?
Yeah.
They text us in at the text line.
Hey, man.
We're growing.
Two guys making it's a legacy now. Yeah. It's
hey
good.
guys, shitty producer here. I need you guys all to scoot right, because Tommy's a little, cutting out little Tom.
All right.
That's a good name for you,
There we
too.
go.
I like it. You know who would hate the first minute of this? Cassian. We've already swore like three times.
Yeah.
He's not going to be very happy.
Oh, fiddlesticks.
Yes, we are underway. We're off and running here again for oddshark.com. We're going to start that new feature we talked about last week, the oddshark.com random shark reference. So we'll get into that. It can be pop culture or San Jose Sharks that we will discuss. Gazzola, thanks for being here again today, buddy.
Anytime.
And on Thursday, too, unless we find someone better.
Oh, I'm trying.
You're trying.
Yeah.
Gager is working hard.
Wow.
So
I think I got a guy down the street. He takes his dog for a walk. He looks pretty interesting.
You sometimes nod at him when you come
Yeah,
down here
yeah.
to Little Brick, where we host the Two Guys and a Goalie podcast.
I'm kidding.
Tough crowd.
We
man.
love you, Gazzola.
I love you.
Guys, just this coming in from Draisaitl today.
Uh-oh.
Courtesy of Jim Matheson. Draisaitl, when asked what he would do if he and McDavid had to play with Tkachuk in the 3-on-3 All-Star game, he said, I would get off the ice.
Yes. I just got back from the rink. I was there.
You were there for that one.
Yeah, he was like, they hate him. They hate Matthew Tkachuk, rightly so. And I can confirm that was said. You'll hear it.
Because they're all at the All-Star game together, right? Like,
Yeah.
Are
so,
they? Oh, this is great.
Oh, that'll be
Love
good.
it.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
I hope they just don't pass the puck to him.
Isn't Doughty there too?
Is Doughty on that team as well?
Oh, boy.
It would seem like so. I don't know if he. I don't.
No,
I don't.
because he was a vote-in guy.
Was he a voting guy and he
Oh,
didn't
he
get
was a
voted
voting
in?
guy,
So yeah. Now wouldn't that be something?
Oh,
That'd be
boy.
good.
Oh, so awkward times at the All-Star game. Hey, good note, shitty producer. That was great.
Oh, that's
Okay, so obviously that's where we have to start. The entire hockey world is talking about it. Cassian's having a hearing basically right now as we are doing this. So if you're listening to this on Wednesday or something, obviously it might be a little dated. But Gager, let's start with you. I mean, Battle of Alberta is great again. That was awesome to see. There was a lot on the line. Tkachuk was running around. Cassian finally had enough. Tkachuk wanted no part of it. Where do you come out on this thing?
I love it. I think it's the best thing ever. I'm not mad about the hits too. Like I don't mind taking a run at a guy, and he's not leaving his feet. Yeah, Cassian's in a precarious position, but he's not originally like that. He's looking to make contact with his body, not his head, and getting him in a position where he does have the puck. I know he's vulnerable, but I guess.
Right? Isn't he being a little bit of a dirty prick though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't mind that. Like,
Well,
that's who he is.
Man, it's the hardest thing in the world to play against those guys because everyone's looking for them to get a shot in. Like, if you're playing a shift against Tkachuk, you're looking for the chance now to hit him. And that's taking you off your game. And the fact that really pissed me off is he's good. That's
He's really good.
He's not just like out there running around like a Matt Cook or something like that. He's a good player that means a lot to that team. That on a just a promotional standpoint, that game is going to be so big, so huge to have it on a Saturday night, Battle of Alberta in Calgary, and it was a great hockey game. Yeah. Like I watched that whole game with I guess he'd be my uncle-in-law, but we watched the whole game and we had a blast. We were just saying how great this game was. It was fast. Like the only penalty really was Cass.
Yeah.
And it was no whistles, hard checking. It was to me it was the best game of the year.
I loved it. I loved all of it. And isn't that crazy though? Like I said this on the post game show with Hernan the other day. It's like Tkachuk, is it a weasel move? Sure. But he knows the rules and he knows what he can get away with. And he's walking a fine line and he does it to a T.
But shouldn't have been charging though. He took 5 steps.
You probably could have given him one.
Right,
Don't
like-
you-
Especially
yeah.
that first one.
The first one. The second one, I mean, I think you see that quite a bit. I think the second one was blown up because of what happened after it and because the
Absolutely.
first one had already happened.
He's
right?
gliding a bit though. Like he takes a few steps, but it's not. I don't know.
He
What's-
targets Kassian, obviously.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
He sees him behind the
He's
net
like-
coming, and he's looking it down.
He
for sure.
sees him going behind and then
Yeah.
leaves his spot at the point. It was Scotty Upshaw who tweeted. Well, he was just
Great
like, I know
tweets.
it's dirty because I did it a lot of the time. Like,
Yeah.
if you're leaving that spot to go down, your only goal is to, be a predator in that situation.
Well,
And
Exactly.
Does that come down to the video guy to go, look, they're coming down to hit you. Let's activate the D on that side. Start yelling like, yeah, like and put that puck into that.
put the puck back to the E-man.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's something that they can obviously look at for the next game, right? Like,
If they, well, I mean, it happened so quick though. But you're right.
it did happen quick.
Yeah.
I loved it. This juice that's been added to the fire that has reignited in the Battle of Alberta. Finally,
Well, the reason it's good is because both teams aren't shit anymore.
That's right.
like that game was for first place.
Yeah. Do you feel Tkachuk's taking a little heat because the Solanis of the world are calling him out now?
Well, everybody is.
Everybody
Right,
is.
so
So he must be
not
feeling some of it.
Perfect.
I don't
I would
think
be going to every advertiser trying to get some sort of side deals done, like just some bad T-shirts made.
You
or
don't think it
something like
rattles them at all that like other former players are like, what's Kassian supposed to do when Tkachuk clearly? I mean, and I'll give the guy credit. Like his goal in that game was to get under the skin of Zach Kassian and piss him off, and mission accomplished. The moment Kassian dropped his gloves, Tkachuk was probably thinking, "I win."
Yeah.
I win.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah.
so
And they won the game on the power play.
Yeah.
It was perfect. I mean, I loved it. I like what's his name, Jeff Ward. Yeah,
Jeff Ward. Yeah.
He great guy. I had him for a coach for a bit. I'm really happy for him to be doing so well. Talbot outduels the guy he got traded for. Like the two saves he made. The one on Draisaitl with the blocker stretched out, and there was one in the third too where he made a two really
squeezed one on Kassian.
yeah, and Cass too.
Yeah.
That like so, and then I really thought that the 2 goals that Mikko did let in with I didn't like the first one, but the Goudreau one where he kind of floats it in and he doesn't track it properly. Maybe not playing as much, but I don't like as a goalie you got to find the puck,
Gage,
especially when it's that far out.
Let me ask you this: if that third goal where it was like the bad pass from Bear hits Haas's skate, goes back, and then Koskinen doesn't really cover it up because Bear's got his stick there. If that's Mike Smith, that's not happening. That's what I said on the show post game. Do you believe that?
because Smith plays it.
Because he plays it much more
good point.
confidently.
Yeah, tough to say because it looked like they were both stuck in no man's land.
Right.
Maybe Smith does take a little bit more initiative to grab it.
Yeah.
But it did look like you got it. No, you got it, and then it's too late.
Totally.
What did you think of the decision to go to Smith in that game, or to go to Koskinen in that game?
That's fine.
Did it surprise you? Do you think he would just give Smith the whole road trip? You're like, you're 3-0-1. Take the last game. It's against your former
I
team.
think he should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I would have liked it better.
Yeah.
It would have meant more like Talbot's going against Smith. They're kind of
It just surprised me because like I didn't think he'd go back to Smith in the fourth game of the trip.
Right.
That was the Montreal game.
yeah.
So I thought for sure, okay, well, give him the trip now. That was the first, Tippett's done a really good job. I'm still not questioning. I just was surprised. I thought he would have rode with Smith.
he played well though. I
Give him a
think
chance to win.
yeah.
yeah.
Right.
The first one I didn't like too because you're always taught you don't always expect a shot, and it just seemed like he was caught by surprise. Who was that? Lindholm that scored the first one, and he just kind of
Yep.
turned and spun.
Yep.
Like you got to be ready for anything. It just looked like he was completely caught off guard there. But no, No, it was a great game. I can't wait for the 29th. I got to, if anyone's got tickets.
Hey,
You're alumni.
What the hell?
How are you asking for tickets?
I
Pat
like
Garland.
I like to
from
be
the
amongst
Oilers.
the people. All right, I'm a man of the people.
Why don't you just stand outside the alumni room with your Sharpie ready to go?
Yeah, well,
and a drink in the other hand.
there's layers to alumni that the hierarchy is.
Do you have to wait for like all the other tickets to get claimed, and then like Gage, we got a pair for you?
Well, sometimes.
Sometimes.
I can weasel. But now that I'm close, I kind of hang out at the office sometimes and just
that's
see
good.
if any tickets might fall out.
Where's
of some
Patty
pocket.
Garland when you need him?
Yeah,
Get
exactly.
man
Gage
in
some
that
tickets. God, get Gage as many tickets as he wants.
Give him a section.
It's not like you've been sold out all year.
Oh.
Sorry, I had to. That's kind of
hey.
crazy. Okay, what about not fighting? What about Tkachuk? Gage, you were telling me before we went on, like that was the one thing that kind of pissed you off is that he didn't want to drop the gloves.
That's what makes it the best is because he doesn't back anything up. It's just you hate him even more. It's just it's an awful way to play. Really effective if guys aren't if they can't control their emotions, and especially in a game like that, it's tight. It's very physical. Guys are gonna lose. You're gonna lose your shit.
Yeah.
The one coach, God, we hated him. Bob Hartley. He was coaching Hershey Bears in the minor. He had those guys doing that. Like they'd hack you, whack you, slash you, punch you in the back of the head, and as soon as you touched them, they'd fall down.
Really?
Yeah, and like,
Gutless.
and we counted. We were playing them in the playoffs. Their trainer came out 16 times one game because they were all laying on the ice.
No.
Yeah, and they lived
16 times.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Here's a net. This I can neither confirm or deny, but we played in the old Hershey arena. It's where Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points. He probably did a few other things in that building too, but I don't know.
Him a dad.
To get to that number, yeah. But anyway, the rumor is Hartley had his trainer get in the air ducts, crawl across to our room, jump down, and measured our sticks.
Come
Are you
on.
serious?
The trainer, my trainer at the time, he said he went out with the other trainer the next year and he confirmed it. But I don't know. This is what they're saying. But so the first game was in Hershey. We got a penalty. He called one of our players and you have to like a specific measurement, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't calling the curve. He was calling the width of the stick at a certain point.
Like the width of the blade?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like and boom, 5-on-3, they scored. We got another penalty. He called a different guy's stick. And
So he
5-on-3.
did climb through and measure the
Wow.
sticks.
He called, and then he called, I think he called like 6 stick penalties that time. So we were all so rattled because how is he calling all these stick? And guys
getting them right.
Guys are going back and shaving their sticks, and we were all worried about this. Oh, it was awful. It was.
That's insane.
Remember J.F. LeBay? He was a goalie. And,
Yep.
he was with Edmonton after a little bit, but he had diarrhea one game.
Sweet.
And so their tough guy, I forget the name, I got to find out, but he went down on the ice and laid there for 15 minutes, and LeBay left because he had to go take a dump. And then the other guy got up, but no one touched him. He just fell down because Hartley was saying, go down. JF's got to take a dump.
So and he just laid down on the ice.
Yeah, like
the
he was
goalie
injured.
went and took a shit,
And
and then
the trainer came out and was out on the ice with this guy.
seriously?
Oh my god.
Yeah, because they only had 2 lines that could play. They were really good, and their power play was just ridiculous.
Yeah, but they were cheating.
Yeah.
Although I guess is it cheating? Like, is there anything in the rules that says you can't send a trainer through a duct over to the other room to measure sticks? Probably not.
Well, I don't think you're allowed to go into the other team's room, right?
But it happens because especially in the NHL, the home team has to provide an extra staff member for the trainers, and they just wear like an NHL.
Okay, so they're just like a
tracksuit.
generic
But
sort
he's
of
not
helper.
bringing
They're like the third or fourth guy.
he Hartley did that shit.
I believe it.
That's
I'm pretty
greasy.
sure. Yeah.
You always get
Oh,
a helper,
man.
right? You get a helper on the road for the
Yeah.
trainers. So
All I really
They're
want to
in the
know out
room.
of this is, did you ever have to leave a game to take a poop?
No, I just did it right there.
Oh, it's kind of warm.
Yeah, it was really weird. No one screened me that game.
Gage,
was my
you're,
move,
you're
though.
playing and you smell like shit.
I would always like
Gage mud butt.
I would try to fart especially on the PK, and the guy standing in front of me. What was his name? He was in Buffalo. Rasmussen. I think
Eric Rasmussen?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He always stood in front, and I let one rip, and it was awful. And he's working hard. He's like, oh, he's like dry heaving, and I do it in men's league too all the time. Just start dying laughing.
Oh, well, you trainers must have loved you doing your laundry.
Yeah,
That is good. All right, let's get to our Popeyes chicken poll question. Try Popeyes legendary Louisiana chicken today. It's a simple one. Kassian's having his hearing right now. And you know what? I think there will be a suspension. If it was my call, I'd be like, I had it coming. I'm not going to suspend you. But from a league optics perspective, I think he's got to at least get a game.
Yeah.
Hernan, what are the results like on the poll question here?
Yeah, well, as you can imagine, they're in favor of the Edmonton Oilers. So should Kassian be suspended for going after Tkachuk? 85% no, and that's 603 votes in, 15% for yes.
15% for yes.
By the way, Kassian chose not to speak.
He didn't speak today?
No,
Which is
Andre
understandable,
Brink came
yeah.
out and said he's not going to talk till after the hearing. We'll hear from him tomorrow.
It would be silly to talk before the hearing, right?
Yeah.
What do you think he gets, Tommy?
At least a game.
I think he gets 2.
I think he might. Just 'cause
There's
of
no
who he
way.
is.
What about the 3? Because the 3 would
No.
take him out of the Calgary match. You can't give him 3 games for that. There's no way.
I could see it being 2 just because of who he is and his past.
is that game on a Wednesday though?
It's a Wednesday.
Ah, shoot.
And it's after
8
like
o'clock.
11. I think it's 11 days off for the Oilers before that
Yes.
game.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a Wednesday night, 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Weird.
I hate it when games are on Wednesdays. My wife has a meeting every Wednesday, so it totally ruins my Wednesday nights. I know she needs her own time, but come on, it's a Wednesday night Oilers Flames game.
Juices are flowing, baby.
It's ridiculous. Okay, so we'll see what ends up happening coming out of that. What do you think happens actually the next time those two teams meet? Like what happens on the 29th if Kassian's in the lineup?
Someone gets run. Someone gets
you're
blown
right.
up. Yeah. Maybe if Tkachuk's not going to do anything, then Kassian's going to go after a Monahan, Gaudreau, and just flatten one of them. Lindholm, whatever.
yeah. Like I remember one time we were playing the Rangers. Okay,
Uh-huh.
and Todd Marchant was yelling at the Moose, telling him he had no heart. And
Jesus.
and so like Doug Waite's going, Toddy, shut the
Yeah.
he's telling him to sit down, and he's yelling at Mess, and Messier skates by our bench. Did I tell you this before?
No, I haven't heard this story.
Love Messi.
Mess
And Doug Waite.
in Madison Square. Mess skates by our bench, and he looks at Ronnie Lowe and says, "Put that guy out on the ice again. I dare you." And points at Marchant. Marchant didn't see the ice, but Mess was pissed. And remember Dave Roberts?
Yes.
Yeah. So Dave Roberts was with us. He went in the corner to get the puck. Mess gave him the elbow.
Yeah.
And knocked him into 3, put out 4 to 6 decades. And he had nerve damage in the side of his face.
From the elbow?
From the elbow.
Oh, my
but
God.
that was the result of Todd not shutting up.
And Todd never got back. He didn't play again. Like he didn't go back.
He
on the
didn't go
ice?
back on the ice that game. And so that's the kind of retribution needs to happen. You're not going to get Tkachuk to do anything. He's too good and too smart, and he's a great hitter. That's a skill. You don't realize. Like I've played with some really talented guys at hitting, like Nicholas Kronwall. I played
he
with
was a
him
crusher.
in Sweden, and he was like 170 pounds, but he crushed guys. But he just had that timing and how to read the play, and especially on big ice. Like ridiculous to have a good open ice hit on the big ice. So Tkachuk's going to blow someone up because he's so good at it. He reads the situation. Someone's going to be in a position where
So
he
much
can-
about timing, right?
he's good at it. And so what's going to have to happen is you're like Gaudreau coming across or just finishing your check every possible time on those guys. You know,
whether they're huge or not.
yeah,
just like-
because everyone, Giordano, you want to target any chance you get. And I mean, you try anyway, but just that little bit extra, and just tell Tkachuk. Like guys would skate by the player that's doing that. This is the reason all you guys are going to get sticks in the face. Like that's what they say to him.
What
right?
does
Just
Rasmus Anderson needs to get taught a lesson because he was out of line. Like, why does he get involved in what Kassian Tkachuk?
Yeah, we were looking at that out on the post game show and we're like, what's he doing? Like, okay,
seemed really random,
Yeah.
didn't it?
Yeah.
taking a shot at Draisaitl, taking a shot at McDavid, talking about Kassian. And like,
he's signed a big deal. He's
Yeah,
pumped up.
Yeah, he's a
Rich as
little.
balls now, so
yeah.
yeah, he's living the good life.
I'll tell you what I think.
Tommy, if Tkachuk hits Kassian turns around, drops the gloves. If Tkachuk drops the gloves and they fight, and probably doesn't end well for Tkachuk. I mean, Kassian's pretty fierce.
Yeah, he's
Um,
crazy.
But how does that change things going into the 29th? Like, I don't think somebody's going out there looking to
No, it would
pay
be
a price,
over.
right? Yeah, that's
it
what
would
I
be.
mean.
It'd be settled.
It would be a clean slate.
Yeah,
not
okay, yeah, that's a
over.
good point.
Yeah.
That's a good word. Yeah, that's
yeah,
good.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Clean slate. New
There's
game.
no more eye for an eye.
Right.
You guys had your little scrap. Kassian got to fight Tkachuk, and Tkachuk, stood up and took one or two or whatever.
Exactly. Then
But now I worry that somebody's going to get hurt in the 29th game because people are running around being
that's
idiots.
probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the ramifications of how he went about doing what he did on Saturday night.
That was a well-reffed game, though. Like,
Yeah, they
for
put their whistles away.
Yeah, but the guys played well. Like they played aside Tkachuk, they were playing hard and physical. But it was good.
Did you notice that the linesman didn't really jump in all that quickly?
You know who that was,
Yeah.
right?
Who was
It's
it?
Travis Toomey,
Was it?
former University of
Oh.
Alberta Goldenberry. Yeah.
Really?
He knows
Yeah.
the situation.
Yeah, I had him on the show when he first became a linesman, and he was on my radio show. And
Well done. For, like one
But
of the
yeah,
first
he kind
times
of got
this
in
year.
there. That's a former player who
gets
probably has a little bit of a read of things, and it's just like
Yeah.
he came in and then he waited and then he got in there.
Good. Finally,
yeah.
they didn't handle it stupidly like they have
Yeah.
the last couple of years.
Okay, but the post-game quotes, we haven't even got to what these two guys said yet, which is pretty entertaining. Tkachuk says, if he doesn't want to get hit, then stay off the tracks. I caught him 3 times there. You'd think he'd learn after the first one. He's so good at being shit disturbing. If he wants to react that way, we'll take the power play, we'll take the game winner, and we'll move into first place.
Poking that bear, man.
Sell
Playing
those
it to it.
tickets.
Yep.
I think we'll have a sellout next game for sure.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
I think that'll probably help a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Too bad it's not alternate
Lake,
Jersey
grade
Friday.
8 Lake.
Yeah, that's
It's next level.
for
not-
him to come to
You
do
wonder
it.
why the Oilers hate him.
It was good.
Like,
Very good interview.
and then Kassian says, it's sad because he's a pretty good player, but he's a pussy, to be honest, straight up. That's the definition of it. Wouldn't fight me 2 years ago, said I was a fourth liner. Now I have 13 goals. What's the excuse? And what's funny, it's funny because the code in the National Hockey League, it's not a thing. He doesn't have to fight him. I retweeted a video today, earlier in the season.
Yeah.
Matt Dumba blew up Backlund at the end of a game. There's 40 seconds left, Minnesota, Calgary.
Yeah.
20 seconds into the next game they played, Tkachuk went, found Dumba, grabbed him, turned around, and said, we're going. Dumba dropped the gloves and fought Tkachuk.
Done.
So Tkachuk can go out and make sure the code gets followed. Then you got to follow it the other way, too. And I know some people are like, Cassie is way bigger than he is, but they're
They're the
actually
same size.
Yeah, they're like 9 pounds different.
Yeah.
Outside of that, they're 6'2", 6'3". Like,
Remember back a few years ago when Hendricks took out Ekblad and then he had to answer the bell against who's the big boy there in Florida?
Was it Michael Haley?
No, it was Goodbranson.
Goodbranson. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Hendricks
knew.
gave up how much, but he's like, I have to fight him.
Yeah.
Like, period. And Tkachuk doesn't do that.
I just thought it was weird that Tkachuk, like, implemented the code against Dumba this year.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like... So he obviously gets it. He understands that it exists. But fun times nonetheless. The Battle of Alberta. I've been in Edmonton for 10 years. I can't remember the last time.
It meant something.
Yeah, it meant something like this. Like,
I remember late, like 2000, like early 2000s. I think it was 2007 or 2008 when Cujo was playing for the Flames. He wanted to fight Matthew Garon.
really?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was
Really?
like both teams were crappy, but Cujo like skated down the ice and he was ready to fight Garon. I'm like, yes. Yeah, I asked him about that. He's like, sometimes I like to mix it up. I was like, that would have been great.
Really?
Yeah.
Played with Cujo in a charity tournament one year.
Yeah.
And it was funny because
His wife's a rocket.
he played. He was a great dude. He sat around with us and stuff. Not like this asshole here, Gage. But he was like,
I'm bougie shit-faced by that. Sleeping.
somebody it was me. I came in, he played half the game for us, then went and played half the game in the other net so we could
Nice.
shoot on him as well.
Yeah.
And I came in and I thought I had him upstairs backhand and I put one right on him and he just reaches back, grabs it, he's like, nope, and throws it away. I was like, oh, you.
He was so good.
So good.
Oh, I loved him.
Yeah, it was
He was so good, man. I remember when he first came to Edmonton, and again, I was on the ice with Todd Marchant and David Oliver
Okay.
after practice, and Cooch stayed out there because he had just come over from the trade with Billy. And so I was in there and guys are lighting me up or whatever, and then Cooge gets in there and I'm sitting there and I'm huffing and puffing, and I was good friends with David Oliver. He's an awesome guy. And Ollie comes over and goes, Gager, I haven't scored yet. And he hasn't touched the ground. Like, he was just stopping everything with his hands. Like, he wasn't even moving. And these guys were blasting pucks and couldn't
stop him.
No,
So
he
good.
was. Cooge was, yeah.
Did you room with him?
Yeah, he was my roommate.
And was he a good roommate or was he
He was
weird?
the best.
Really?
Yeah, he was one of those guys where you can't believe, like, he's a superstar. But I'd known him for a long time. He was at, I went to Alpha Murray College in Notre Dame.
Okay.
And he played on the junior team that year. With
When you were going to
so I was 14. He was 20. He played on the junior team. I played bantam, but I roomed with two other guys that played on the junior team. So I'd known him for quite a number of years.
Oh, that's all right.
Brenda Moore was there too, right?
Yeah, Rod the Bot. I remember seeing Rod. He'd go to the gym at like 1 in the morning. He had keys to the new building, which was called, and you'd see him walking over in the middle of the night going to work out. That guy is a freak. Like, they had and he's brilliantly smart. He's going to be an unbelievable coach for a number of years just because he's so brilliant. Like, he was by far the best hockey player, but he was also on the honor roll list. Like, he would have 99, 100% on it in grade 12. Like, he would.
Really?
Yeah. So we did the calculations one year or one semester, and he got, out of all the tests he had to get his grade, like he had 99 something, he got like 2 wrong on all, like calculus, like all the hard crap that you take in grade 12. He was phenomenal.
And he went to the gym.
And he went to the gym.
How did you find the time? That's pretty impressive.
We need to check his urine.
Okay, so after that game, Calgary takes over first spot in the Pacific. The Oilers are in the top wild card spot right now. Arizona is in the mix. Golden Knights are in the mix. Canucks are in the mix. Like, those 5 teams are separated by 2 points, I believe.
Yeah, it's tight.
It's super tight right now in the Pacific. Gazola, any idea how this thing sorts itself out? Like,
Nope, not at all. Like, the Canucks have kind of been the team that's been wavering. Like, they'll go on a bad stretch, they'll lose a couple games, and then they'll seem like they're out of it, and then they'll just rattle off a few wins, and then right back in the mix. You kind of worried, especially in December, that the Oilers were going to be that team that was going to start to fall from grace, and they've managed to stop the bleeding and bounce back. Almost got into first place if they won on Saturday night. It's going to be a race in these last 35 games. It's going to be awesome. I don't know who's going to take it. Like, the Golden Knights can't. They're letting in a ton of goals. Malcolm Subban, when he fills in for Marc-Andre Fleury, sorry, he's not good.
they're going to run Fleury hard, I think, the rest of the way.
And I think they are on a stretch of 4 or 5 games in a row where they're giving up 4 goals minimum. The good thing is they can score too. That defense needs to be shored up too. And Arizona seems to be
they're kind of
humming along.
Yeah.
When
weird.
did they start going in the pooper there? I wonder.
They're kind of hovering around 500 as of late. So yeah, that's true. By the way, New Jersey beat Tampa last night, just hours after firing their general manager. But we'll get to that one in a second. But the Pacific Division is going to be super tight. Gage, do you think it comes down to? I mean, I might be simplifying it here, but does it not come down to simply just head-to-head matchups between those 5 teams? Like, if you're the Oilers and you all of a sudden lose 3 in a row to Calgary and 2 in a row to the Canucks and drop 1 to Vegas, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah. So now all those 4-point games mean so much more to all those teams. You can't even just single points. You can't drop too far behind the teams that you're playing against. I after seeing Vancouver, I think they're going to drop out.
Yeah.
I think.
I thought you loved Vancouver.
I do. I like them, but I think they're showing their maturity now. I think we're going to see a little bit of a drop off. There's just watching Markkanen, is his name? Markstrom. Yeah, he just didn't look. I mean, those games were bad that they got shelled in the Panhandle. But they didn't look. I think we're going to see a drop off especially after the All-Star break. We're going to one of those teams is going to start.
You would think. Well, I would be very surprised if all 5 of them are within 5 points of each other come final week of the season. Like,
Yeah.
something's got to give, I would think.
It's crazy how they're so clumped together and nobody's running away with it. I thought Arizona and Vegas would run away with it 2 weeks ago.
I thought Vegas was going to run away
Not
with it for
happening.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird.
All right, let's get to our oddshark.com random Sharks reference. And today we're going to talk a little bit about Artur Zerbe. Let's start with the goalie in the middle here. What's your favorite thing about Artur Zerbe outside of how cute and tiny he was?
Well, I played with I think it was his country, Peter Skudra. He played with him or knew him quite well. He said when Arturs would get a new pair of pads.
Why are you laughing so hard, Tommy?
He would take his pads outside and drive over them with his car.
What? Say this again. Urbe would drive over his pads.
He would get new pair of pads, take them out into the parking lot, and get his Lada car or whatever, and drive over them to make them all big and fat. That's why they were so big.
That's why they're so fat?
Yeah,
They were squished down
they were
by a
squished
vehicle?
down by a vehicle. Yeah. He used to run them. It added a little because they were white and looked like he stopped a lot of pucks with them too. But
It makes sense because I always wondered how he got pads that look so much
that's-
thicker than
yeah.
that.
No, he ran over them.
Well,
with
that
his car.
certainly wouldn't be allowed anymore.
No.
But this Latvian boy wonder, who Dusty referred to as cute and tiny, also he kept the same pads for like years and years. Apparently, he was meticulous and always took care of those pads, fixed them up himself, all of that stuff.
Well, it's probably because he drove over them and you can only drive over so many sets of pads perfectly, right?
Well, when the ones he played in San Jose, if you zoomed in really close on the outside, I think it did say SJMHA on there. So they were the minor hockey pads for San Jose. They looked like.
He had the worst helmet too.
Worst lid.
So bad.
Nobody else really had that lid either, right? Like
Glenn Hanlon.
Did Glenn Hanlon have that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Glenn
Kelly
Hanlon
Rudy,
had
I think, had that one for a while too. Didn't he?
Yeah, but Urbe must have been the last guy to have it.
Yeah.
So he would drive over his pads.
Yeah.
The one thing I remember about Urbe is that he was awful at playing the puck. Hey, like
Yeah,
he was the worst.
Yeah.
Hey, can you ever think of a goalie who was worse at playing the puck than?
Well, a couple come to mind.
Just looking at this picture over here, he can't even lift his stick.
Oh yeah, look.
Poor bugger.
Yeah, just it's not. Well, look at the stick too.
Yeah, a huge
but look at
Sherwood.
those pads. See how deformed they are?
Yeah.
That's from driving over them.
That's so weird.
That
Yeah.
is strange.
Yeah, funny.
He was outstanding though. I love Artur
Well,
Zerbe.
he had a couple big. Wasn't in the Olympics?
confused.
Didn't he have a? And then when they beat Detroit for San Jose,
Yeah.
that first time when Detroit was really good. Yeah, he had some.
Did that go to overtime?
I don't
That
know.
series go to overtime? I think
He had some great moments in the NHL.
Yeah, he was good. He was fun to see.
You know who had a
No, go
just
ahead.
as awful helmet was it Tommy Soderstrom? Remember his
Oh,
helmet?
Yeah,
the-
Soderstrom had a bad lid too.
the bubble Yofa.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty
Tom,
bad too.
let's see here.
Now that we brought up Urbe, that's what it
Oh
reminded
yeah,
me
that
of.
one's
Yeah.
even worse. That was like a cage bubble that went all the way around his head. Like,
You know what though? Like, I read a book. It was called Into Thin Air. It's about a trip to ascending Mount Everest, right? And
at you.
well, in my off time, I try to better
You
myself.
can read.
Dusty. There's a lot of pictures, and just the benefits of oxygen. I remember Hasek always said that to breathe properly. That's why he wore that mask. And I was always thinking, because the masks now they cover your face, and you can get a good gulp of air, but I think it helped a little bit. And I was thinking towards the end of my career when I was really sucking wind, maybe I had to change masks or something like that. But I think that's one of the main reasons why you saw goalies wear those. And you can see some now that they're a little bit more exposed around the mouth area. The cage goes down further, but I think that has.
Do
something to
you
do
think it makes a big difference then? Yeah.
with it. It might.
Well,
I
did
don't
you used to wear?
know. I had the mask.
You had like the one like the Grant Fuhrer style right to your.
No.
Are you sure? I thought you said you did. You got it like designed and stuff.
Not that old.
No,
Jeez.
not that old.
Not even like in minor hockey.
You were not.
I
allowed to do
thought
that.
you told us that story. I thought you went and got the mask done
No.
and
Oh yeah, but
they did
that's
a mold
the
of
mold
your face.
Yeah, but that's how it's done with those masks.
Oh,
It's cut out. Like they take the mold because here and like here.
Oh,
That's
okay. All right. So,
then
it's custom right to your
so
face. Okay.
yeah, you pop it out and it's a picture of your face,
Yeah.
and then they lay the
okay.
fiberglass.
I thought
on
you were
top of it.
getting like the old like
Oh no,
Jerry
no.
Cheever's
Yeah, no,
mask done up.
jeez. That's
Okay. So you're not that old.
no.
No, that's on me then. That's not good. All right. So the New Jersey Devils, they fire Ray Shero. after he fires John Hines, after he trades Taylor Hall, 6 weeks before the trade deadline. Tommy, what are your thoughts on? And everybody seems to think Shero is like really like he's very highly respected. Is he not? Like
this is a bizarre one. Like when I saw that news yesterday, I was texting the guys I know that work for the Devils, and I'm like, "What's going on?" They're like, "Can't talk now. Sorry." I'm like, "Come on." But out of the blue, because it seemed like with this rebuild or whatever the Devils are calling it, like Shero had the full confidence of the new ownership group there. But like all of a sudden, this one, after getting rid of Hines, making the Hall trade, and starting to put the pieces together moving forward for the next year or a couple of years, like wouldn't he be the guy that you're going to ride with? So this, like,
it makes no sense.
It's like shades of Oilers, 7-8 years ago.
It's true.
Where you're like, where are they going with this? Why now? Like this is bizarre.
They've got 2 first overall picks in the lineup. Like it's What are you going to do?
Too many mistakes. Didn't fix the goaltending.
That's always the big one, right? Like, didn't fix the goaltending.
Is Schneider back up?
Yeah, they just called him back up.
They actually called him up a couple hours before they fired Shero. So.
And
because Blackwood's hurt right now.
Yeah.
And Blackwood's actually been not bad, but
Subban hasn't worked out.
10 points all year.
Taylor Hall, that trade, who knows?
And the 2 first overall picks, like keep in mind, they're high-end guys, but they're like 20 years old and younger. And your top 2 centers are 20 years old and younger in the NHL.
Yeah.
How much success are you really going to have?
Well, what you're also doing is screwing over those kids.
Right.
Right? Like, there's no way those guys should have to deal with the pressure of carrying an organization.
I saw Kyler today, Yamamoto.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a teeny guy, but you know what? I saw him and I was walking towards him. I go, that's him. Cool. And he had a strut of confidence with going into the rink today.
5 points in 6 games.
Yeah, no, I was about to say good job, but I was like, I got a little scared.
You should have been like, you can't score on me.
Well, I'm the one who can't score on him. We discussed this. We're gonna have an outdoor game.
You should come.
I'd like to.
I was thinking on the way down here, you should definitely come.
I like what you did, by the way, last week. That was very nice of you with the kids.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Nicely done.
I'm a man of the people.
You are, truly. I would not deny or disagree with that whatsoever.
Tommy, out of 10 penalty shots on Gager, how many goals do you think you'd score?
I could get a couple, I think.
Oh, see? I said the exact same thing, and this guy's like, no chance. No chance.
Hey,
Tommy played in the jungle, though.
I played 4 glorious years in the jungle.
Yeah, really? Weren't you, did you play AJ at all?
I spent like a week with Lloyd Minster.
See?
And I'm like, I'm not living here. I didn't play any games, if anyone's curious.
Huh.
But
20 shots combined, Tommy and I.
I could
4 goals
pop a
against you.
couple.
Did you ever see? I got to find this video of. This will show you when we had it was a hockey day in Canada in Lloydminster.
Okay.
And I had the GoPro on my head.
Oh, nice.
And all the everyone came down. Rob Brown, all these things, Pisani, and I was calling what they were doing before. I got to find this video. But
so like on the GoPro, you could be you were like backhand.
Oh,
I was
we
mic'd
did that
up
on Oilers TV.
Yeah. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I wasn't there. We had Ashley Docking, who's at Sportsnet in Toronto now. And I think, I was listening. They're like, watch Gager. He calls everybody's shot. It was impressive.
Everyone's
how
shot.
do you know that?
Yeah.
I just know.
But how?
Like
it's a natural instinct.
See,
Or?
I used to play in the NHL. It's like
I know that.
it's like if I'm like I have my doctorate in goaltending and my PhD.
That's true. I guess for a time you were one of the top 60 goalies in the world.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
It was actually pretty impressive. And,
It was.
And then I even said McSorley was the last guy to come down on me. And I go, oh, it's Marty. He's going to do something really stupid. And what is it? He tried to rip it and hit the GoPro off my head.
No way.
Shocking.
Yeah. But
so were you like you knew what they were going to do because you knew of them?
Yeah,
or because
that
you
helped.
Could
That
tell
helped.
how they were bringing the puck in.
But
or?
I did like Lummer. He always he likes to stop the train. Like he'll go one way and then put on the brakes. And I go, Lummer's going to stop the train, and he was really pissed because he could hear me talking. And I go, Lummer's going to stop, and I think that messed him up a little bit. And then I think Fernando went, and he go, oh, he's going to try to open me up, slip it 5-hole. Brownie's going to rip it top shot. Like I just knew.
He stopped all of them.
Yeah.
So Gager,
Now you're intimidating me a little bit.
knowing Dusty right now, like, can you give me a quick what move do you think he'd put on you first?
If you can guess what moves in my head right now, that is unbelievable.
If Dusty's left-handed shot, so he's going to come down and it. I don't. Well,
He has
he's
good hands.
probably going to try to deke a little bit. Like he'll stick handle a few times, and then he's going to go to his backhand and try to go around me. Because that's
Son of a bitch!
yeah, and lefties.
That is what I was going to do.
Yeah. Lefties, it's mostly backhands. Righties will will go forehand and try to go top shelf for the most part. But what you do is you put your glove up a little bit higher and take a little shuffle to the left side. Well, depending on what. And as soon as they because most guys, you'll probably be looking at the puck for the first 15 seconds trying to get down towards me. And as soon as you lift up your head, you'll see, oh my God, there's no net. And then you panic. So, and most players only,
You're right. I would be looking at
the good players look at the goalie to see what, and then they adjust. But
As opposed to having something in your mind that
you're at the you're at the red line going, good old backhand, nothing beats that. Basically, but
shit. You know what I might try to do now if I get 10 shots on you? I'm going to try to go backhand every time.
Oh, yeah.
Because then one time you might be like, not
one
going
time.
backhand.
Well, I might try a poke check in there too at some point to really
Chip it over.
Or what I call is the snake's tongue. Sometimes I can do that if I shoot
snake's tongue?
Yeah, I'll try if you come around and go wide a bit early, I try to shoot my stick between your skates and your stick, and I'll whip my stick around and pull the puck right off your blade and just cover it up, and that really demoralizates you.
Jesus. I would quit.
I'm visualizing all of this right now.
Quit if
This
you
is
did
great.
that.
We gotta videotape this when it happens. I'll be there. I'll be the camera.
No way. I don't want anybody to ever see this ever.
But if you score
But
on
if
it,
you score, oh my
Oh
God.
my God.
Oh, I'll never live it
I am
down.
going to Yakupov that all the way back to center ice on the
Oh
ODR.
gosh, yeah, we might
That'd
have to
be
reinforce
insane.
the ice in that area.
All right, now try to guess what Tommy would do. He's a lefty too.
I have a go-to.
I
he has a go-to.
I haven't played against Tommy in a while. So.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
I pinged one off your head, and I'm really sorry about that.
That's okay. It didn't really hurt.
No, it was a muffin.
All I saw was Made in Canada, Made in Canada,
Yeah.
Made in Canada.
Yeah. I'll readily admit it was soft.
Brad on our Facebook feed has just described you perfectly. You're the Tony Romo of the podcast with the
Yes.
predictions, right? Like,
Get this man
He's
10 million
awesome.
a year.
How good is
Tony Romo's unbelievable.
He's
Outstanding.
unbelievable.
He's unreal.
How does he know that? He's awesome. He just signed a big new deal too, isn't
But
it?
dude,
Like-
it's the same reason you knew what I was going to do. Because he's the best, one of the best quarterbacks in the league for 10 years. He kind of knows how it goes.
well, there's 1 for 2, I guess,
Yeah.
with me.
would Matty shoot or deke? I think
Well, you
he's
play
more of
with
a
Matt
shooter.
sometimes.
He'd shoot.
Yeah.
yeah. He'd come in and try to rifle it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He puts that stick's bending.
Jeez.
I wish you. Oh man, you should have seen him. We talked.
We
about
talked about it
Yeah,
at the last
he was
alumni
he was
skate, yeah.
flying. God, he was trying so hard to score.
That is, that's fun. I cannot wait for the outdoor game. Actually, the guys from Sport Clips, Adam, he emailed me about some stuff they've got going on, and I'm going to share that right here. But then he also said, when you guys do the ODR game, I'm in. I'm on a
Nice.
3-game
Yeah?
point streak in rec. So yeah, Adam's gonna come join us as well. But let's play Keep It or Clip It for Sport Clips Haircuts, home of the MVP experience. They're having a client appreciation this week. So they've got some products and services on sale as well. There's some contests to enter when you get down to Sport Clips as well. So if you're going to get down there and get a haircut this week, or if you're looking to go get a haircut down in Ellerslie Landing, it's also right next to a Popeyes. So it's the real two guys experience. You can go down and have some Popeyes, and then you can go get your hair done at Sport Clips and get the MVP experience, because you'll feel very pampered. It's great. It's absolutely terrific. All right, let's get into this, guys. Tkachuk will never, ever, ever fight Kassian. Keep it or clip it.
Clip it. I think at some point he's going to have to answer.
You think he will?
I think Kassian will just grab him and say enough's enough, and this will have to end at some point. It might not be on the 29th, but I think if this continues on, at some point it's just going to have to happen.
He's just going to have to say, screw it,
Yeah.
let's go.
I feel like that's probably the way it's going to go down.
I'd say clip it. If I'm Kassian, I'm looking to blow up someone else, and then look right at what are you going to do now?
Yeah.
What
That's
are
a
you going
good
to do
point.
now? And I think at that point, Tkachuk will have to do something because
Because if not, then he's not standing up for his
He's not
teammates.
standing up for a teammate. Yeah.
Or not taking responsibility for him, or not taking the responsibility for him being it for his actions.
If you want to get back at Tkachuk, you make sure that someone he's playing with while he's on the ice, when you get a chance to really lay the boom on someone and see what happens.
So basically force him into having to drop the mitts.
That's what I do.
Yeah, that could be the way it happens. You're right. That's probably a good one. All right, the Canucks made a bigger mistake passing on Tkachuk than the Oilers. Keep it or clip it. Pass on him back to back, right?
I have to think about that for 2 seconds.
Who did they draft in that
They
one?
took, I think, Ole Ulevy.
Levy. Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check. Yes, it was Ole Ulevy. 2016 draft was Austin Matthews, Patrick Laine, Pierre-Luc Dubois, Jesse Puljujarvi, Ole Ulevy, who hasn't played a game yet, and then Matthew Tkachuk at number 6.
So the Oilers would have taken Sergachev.
Yes, they were
had
going to take Sergachev
Puljujarvi
before.
not fallen there. They didn't think Tkachuk was ready to play that year.
Like to come
The
in and
Oilers-
play right away?
That's right.
But Sergachev would have been ready to play right away? Like that's what they were. How are you drafting somebody based on if they're going to play right away?
I don't know.
That is ridiculous.
So I think the Canucks made a mistake because Ulevy, he's been injury prone. I think he's in Utica now. He went back the 1 year. Tkachuk's been outstanding. Obviously, he's an all-star. He's a rat out there, but
You didn't know that Tkachuk would be like this, though.
he was so good for London.
He was a beast.
Was he?
Yeah,
Sometimes that doesn't
that's true. Sometimes but he's got the pedigree. I mean, his dad.
Who do you
was
think could
great.
use him more right now? Canucks or Oilers?
Any
Oh,
team.
but any team.
Yeah, you're right. That's true. It's the
Doesn't
right
matter.
answer. Either one of those guys. Both of them passed on him. 2 Canadian teams right ahead of Calgary passing on Tkachuk. All right, number 3 here. Michelangelo was the best Ninja Turtle. Keep it or clip it.
He's the nunchucks guy,
Yes,
right?
he is.
Oh,
He was pretty cool.
He's cool, but
He was the coolest of the Ninja Turtles for sure.
yeah, he was the coolest. Donatello I liked just because he was smart, staff.
the bow staff.
I like the bow
He
staff.
was smart.
Clip this because, first of all, the most badass Ninja Turtle was Raphael, and then his weapons suck. But
Well, why
my
is he
favorite
most
turtle.
badass if his weapons suck?
Because he was like that smart ass, and in the first movie, he actually swore a little bit. He said "damn," and I was 5 when it came out. But
Yeah.
but my favorite was Donatello, because in Ninja Turtles 1 for Nintendo, he was by far the best turtle to use.
Oh.
And I was like, this guy's
Oh,
the
so you were
best.
locked in on that then?
Yeah.
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 All right, that's a good
So
reason
clip
too.
it. Yeah.
He won
So
my heart
I didn't
by
clip.
being good at the video game.
Ilya Kovalchuk will be traded by the Habs prior to the trade deadline. Keep it or clip it.
Keep it. That's a sinking ship.
Do you think somebody wants him, right? Like that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, clip it. I think he's liked in Montreal right now.
Well, yeah, he is.
I mean, this is it for him, though, isn't it?
The Habs are putting him in a spot right now where he's on the power play. He's playing in their top 6. He was out there in overtime, and that was vintage Kovalchuk.
Yeah.
Came down the wing, stick handle 12 times, off the barn in.
Yeah.
He actually looks pretty good in Montreal. That's why I'm wondering if they could turn him into an asset prior to the deadline.
Yeah,
I think so.
I don't think so.
No?
Who's going to take him? He's not going to play in a top 6 role on a good team,
Yeah, that's a good point.
and you're not going to play him in your bottom 6 because he's not effective. So I'm clipping it.
I'll keep it because I think a playoff team could keep him around as insurance.
Sure.
If a top 6 guy goes
Yeah.
out, you slide him in.
Yeah.
Good point,
That's a good
Gazzola.
point.
That's
Gazzola.
just my thought.
Not only a huge wiener, huge brain.
Quinn,
Hello, ladies.
Quinn Hughes will win a Norris Trophy in his career. Keep it or clip it.
Ooh.
Spicy.
He good.
Wow.
Going to the All-Star game.
Yeah.
He's who's he going to be going up against over the next little while here? So
Kale McCarr.
yeah, maybe a
Rasmus
Byram,
Dahlin.
Rasmus
There's a
Dahlin.
few good ones there. Victor
There's-
Hedman's going to play for another 6-7 years at least.
I'm going to keep it because I think the Canucks are on an upward trend. They're going to be a good team for the next little while. Yeah, I think it's a possibility. Keep it.
I'm with Gager. Keep it. He's excellent.
Think he's
He-
that smooth?
He
Yeah.
was the right
Yeah.
choice for the voted last man in for the Pacific. That was the right choice. Him or Pacioretty. Pacioretty gets in because Silverberg's having a baby. So
Yeah.
yeah, I thought Quinn.
Pacioretty's having a hell of a season too.
Oh yeah, he is.
So is David Perron.
Ah,
Yeah.
Man, hey, Tommy, you covered the Oilers when Perron was here.
He did not want to get traded.
No?
I remember being on the charter back when all the trade rumors were circulating. He did not want to go. He was one of their better players. And the return, obviously, Rob Klinkhammer, great guy, but nowhere near as good of a player as David Perron.
Is that all the return was?
And I think a first rounder they got as well.
Really?
Yeah, and he liked it here. He didn't want to go. He was effective, but there were some guys in the room that weren't great fans of him.
Oh, really?
And so
Good player though.
yeah,
I was over at I went to Ferentz's house once for a dinner party, and Perron was there. Who was the big, huge, tall Finn? Was it
Leonard Petrell.
No, shoot.
Oh, Yessi Yoansu.
Yeah,
He was
nice
a big
guy.
boy.
he was there. Who else? And I don't know for sure, but it was just weird because Andrew had him there, and I was he had a couple Oilers over, and I would have expected more because he had this big, huge kind of party and stuff. It was because my wife coached their daughter's figure skating. This is the only reason I was there. But
Ferentz comes up to you and goes, "Hi, I'm Andrew."
Yeah,
You're like,
well,
hey,
yeah.
I'm alumni. Gage.
So he knows me now.
Yeah.
But I was shocked that there wasn't a few more, and I was like, that's kind of weird because I knew they had a couple days off, and I'm sure like he was captain or whatever. I thought he might have invited him. So I was in my hockey mind. I was like, oh, maybe there's
That
groups of
that team
people.
that team Gager was clicky.
Very
Yeah.
It
segregated.
really was. Yeah.
Because on the routine install, I knew Gagne was just down the street, and I knew Taylor Hall was down there, and the Nuge. So I was like, this is they're all really close together. They can walk to each other's place. So.
It was clicky
Yeah.
for sure that year.
But Perron, I remember, huge ass, just a big, huge ass. Like his he didn't need a belt. The pants would have just stayed up there. And I hated playing against guys like Perron because they shot from bad angles all the time. That's just a goalie's nightmare. Like
He does
always
shoot from bad angles.
Oh,
all
he
the time.
shoots from the corner
And
all
his
the
curve
time.
is like that.
Yeah, he's just got I hated guys like that. It's such a good because he can't control anything. I always liked him. I was sad to see him go.
Yeah.
Top 20 in NHL scoring. Right
I
now.
know.
He's a
I
good
know.
player.
Not too bad. I just traded for him in my hockey pool.
Nice.
He's going to help me win a title. More people should have a turtle as a pet. Keep it or clip it.
Clip it. Too much. I don't want to clean up the. I don't like the.
Can't you just leave a turtle in a tank?
No, yeah, but I don't want to clean the tank, and it starts to smell in the water and stuff. I had those fish for my kids. I bought them cichlids so you could feed them goldfish. My daughter was crying because this goldfish would swim around with one eye in, and I'd laugh. And
What? Say this again.
What is going on?
What? You lost me at you would feed the goldfish to other fish?
no, like you'd get a cichlid, like a Jack Dempsey or what is?
What are you talking about right now?
These types of fish. Don't you know these fish? What are they called?
So it's a type of fish.
Yeah, these cichlids are a type of
Okay.
really aggressive fish, and you could feed them little goldfish.
Oh,
right?
so you were feeding them other
Yeah,
fish.
so
You were
my
cannibal fish. is what you
yeah,
had.
but my daughter liked the goldfish that I'd buy, but she didn't realize they were food, and I'd throw the goldfish in, and then the cichlid would come up and it hit it real quick, and then the goldfish would swim, and an eye would be missing.
It would eat its eye?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it was awesome. It was great. Yeah.
but it wouldn't eat the
Science.
fish?
Oh, it would eventually eat the fish. There'd be a carcass like floating around in there, but I remember we came home after a while, and we had an Oscar, and those things get real big, and he was belly up, and it just reeked in my son's room, and I said never again.
But no, you wouldn't have a turtle as a pet.
those I've been in places with turtles. They stink. They're really bad.
I have a friend. She's in Vegas. She has a couple of tortoises, and she just lets them live in the backyard.
What?
Oh, I almost killed one on another routine install because they let these things walk around. I thought it was the doorstop, and I opened the door and I was like, burnt, and I looked and there was this turtle on its back. So yeah, I almost killed a turtle. Thank God he still moved though.
Oh my god!
Oh, all right. I don't know what my kids are going to have for pets when we eventually get to that level, but I just thought turtle might be a good idea, but
Dog, get a dog.
Yeah, great.
you have to walk it. I'm really lazy.
Oh yeah, it's
You saw my Christmas lights.
my dog looks at me like You prick. Like, take me outside. And I'm actually having a conversation with my dog saying, it's minus 27 right now. We're not going outside. You can go piss in the backyard. Here, I'll go with you.
All right. Austin Matthews, you see the stick flip?
Yeah.
Austin Matthews' stick flip to his teammate was more skill than luck.
I don't
it.
keep.
I thought it was pretty skillful. I'm like, whew.
Yeah,
That's
keep
pretty
it.
sweet.
Keep it. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was pretty insane, man.
For a non-hockey related play, I must have watched that a billion times because it looked so cool.
And it was like a no look.
yeah, no
And
look.
it went right to the guy.
Yeah,
He's good.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
that's awesome. That was awesome.
I like that.
I'll say this. He won me over a little bit with that.
Oh.
You know, he's got his weird mustache and his purse and stuff, but that was pretty freaking smooth.
That was really smooth.
yeah, that was pretty smooth.
The purse is a bit much.
They should have that in the All-Star game now. Like that move.
The stick flip.
The stick flip.
Well, I don't know how many times it takes. You're not doing that every time, right? Like he got underneath.
Got
it and
underneath
flipped
it,
back
perfect balance,
in stride.
and it went flat too. It didn't didn't baton and
It was
yeah.
perfect.
Why does Bieber call him dad? That's the weird part. Did you see
Bieber
that?
calls Austin Matthews dad?
Yeah. He Instagram
that's
messaged
weird.
him on one of his
Really?
posts. He's like,
That sounds like a
something
role
dad.
playing something.
Man.
Like,
I just thought that was
That's-
bizarre. I know they're BFFs
Really?
and stuff. Maybe they go scooting together. And
Tommy,
Yeah,
you're a
season.
well dressed man. Not that you're not Gager, but
he's a good gentleman.
would you ever roll with a purse?
Absolutely not.
You sure? Because if anybody
100
in this room's pulling it off, it's you.
Not a chance in hell, man. Thank
Really?
you. I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
But,
You're welcome.
Like I don't even have the balls to wear a scarf. Like
You
the
were
cool.
wearing a
Remember we
scarf.
talking about the.
But you mean
no,
like
no,
for
no, no.
looks?
The cool, like
Oh, in the
remember the
summer, like
European
silk.
scarf?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
And you said you tried it or
Yeah.
I don't have the balls to do that. I know that's not within my abilities, and a purse is an absolute niche for Tom.
You can carry a lot of stuff in it, though.
Yeah, please don't ever wear cargo shorts again.
I love cargo shorts.
I know.
I can't wait till it's summer in here.
well, you
Oh my
don't need a purse.
Exactly. You're right. All right, the Jets are out of the playoffs as of this moment. Jets fans should start to worry. Keep it or clip it.
I'd say keep it. I'm worried about the D a little bit.
Kind of have been all year,
Yeah.
right? Like,
So I would. Yeah. I'd.
also, though, shout out to Neil Pionk. He's having a nice year.
Good
Yeah.
defenseman.
Yeah. No
I know,
doubt.
yeah.
Holy smokes.
That Trouba trade actually is looking okay for them. It
The-
was Myers who left and Bufflin who screwed him over.
And
right?
and Sherrod even was a
Yeah,
good
that's true.
defenseman.
Isn't Bufflin is his surgery like over or his rehab or
Yeah.
something? They're talking.
Apparently, he's now starting to work with the Jets in the rehabilitation. I think there's some kind of communication.
Just in time to retire at the end of the year.
Yeah, excellent.
Like, come on, man.
Dude.
It's tough. All right, last one here. Keith Tkachuk is probably disappointed in his kid. Keep it or clip it.
Clip it. He's
it.
probably laughing, grinning with a shit-eating grin from ear to ear, like
Because it's your
my
kid.
boy.
You're always going to love your kid.
Yeah.
But Tkachuk would fight pretty much anybody, man.
He was a tough SOB.
He was a
You
tough
played
dude.
against him, Gager?
Yeah.
Speaking of big asses,
Yeah.
Huge ass.
Yeah.
When that thing got in front of you, it blocked out the sun.
would
yeah,
that have
he
been
was,
the hugest ass that you played against?
yeah, I think his was up there.
Owen Nolan was pretty big too, wasn't he?
No, not Tkachuk big.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Tkachuk showed up like 50 pounds overweight for training camp one year.
Yeah.
And they told him go away and lose weight and then come back.
Well, when they showed him when his kids got drafted, I thought they said it was his dad. I thought that guy ate his dad. He was huge.
Yeah.
But no, Keith was Keith. What a hell of a hockey player. He was funny too. I remember when he signed his big deal. Like what was it like?
He had
by
one of the
today's
first
standards,
huge deals.
He was
Yeah,
one
you're
of the,
right. That's true.
And someone was yapping at him on our bench, and he told us all where to go and how much money he's making. Everyone
Really?
just kind of shut up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I wonder if he calls Matt though and goes, "Hey man, you gotta fight that guy at some point." You know, like. With that being said, Tkachuk's probably the best in the league at what he does.
Absolutely, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an effective player.
And you know what he does do is, and I get it, he was around last year too, but he makes Calgary difficult to play against in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like in single-handedly. Nothing against Monahan, nothing against Johnny Gaudreau, nothing against some of these so-called tough guys they have who can't move anyway. Tkachuk is the guy who's going to make Calgary tough to play against in the playoffs, right? Like he's going to be the guy who drives it all now. It's just that simple.
Well, yeah, and then you can always like someone does something to him, you come back with Luch. You know, if Luch, they're stacked up with guys that can have that physical presence especially in a 7-game series where it can matter the most like that, right? So,
Had some of my buddies texting me about Tkachuk and Marchant because Marchand's a great player too, but he does some stupid stuff.
Right.
But Marchand does weird things. Like Marchand doesn't run around. Like I haven't seen many times where Marchand's been, the clear straight up hits to the head, or he goes in, he slew foots guys.
Yeah.
He licks you. He tries to bite you. Like it's a little bit different. I think they're both very good at being antagonists, but they do it in a different way.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. He doesn't. It's completely different.
Yeah.
The licking thing was a bit much.
Yeah, you didn't like that?
I thought it was funny.
Greasy?
I'm
was
like,
salty.
that's disgusting, but like that's one way to piss off people. Yeah, salty. Oh.
We got a show idea from Brad on Facebook. Says new show bit. Gage rates NHL asses.
And the only answers are huge or not huge.
Very impressive.
Huge
ass.
ass.
That's the one. The first thing to go after you stop playing is your ass. Like that's. I used to have a lot of junk in the trunk back there, but
now it's gone.
Oh yeah, I
so
liked
your ass is smaller now.
way smaller. It was huge before, and I liked it because I could walk around with my pants undone,
What
and
did
it would
Mrs.
stay
Gage
up.
say? Did she ever bring that up?
Did she marry you for your butt, and now it's gone?
I think it was personality based, but I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
All right, that's gonna do it for episode 30. Huge asses. Sure seems like it, right? For an episode title? I think
Like
so.
it.
Episode 30, huge asses. Gazzola, thanks for being here.
Hey,
Tommy.
looking
Cass
forward
is
to
in
it Thursday.
OKC, I think. Just
I
living
used
the
to
life
live
for the
there.
week. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's weird. We'll be back on Thursday for Hernan, who dubbed himself Shitty Producer today. That's the weirdest nickname you give yourself.
He's good.
weird.
Maybe we should call the show that.
Gazzola, Joaquin Gage, I'm Dustin Nielsen. Thank you to Oddshark, our presenting sponsor. Visit them at oddshark.com. Of course, Popeyes, Louisiana Chicken, and Sport Clip Haircuts. Customer Appreciation Week at Sport Clip Haircuts, so it's good to be a guy. Thank you very much for joining us.